certify things to come together to stay to do the business of the city of Kennet. We hope that you find it pleasing within your sight. Be with all those that are here today and give them safe journeys home. In your name I pray. Amen. Mike.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good. Okay. In your packets, you'll have the approval. We need approval of the minutes from 11/16/21.
Motion.
We got a motion? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Committee reports. Chamber.
Good evening. We placed magazine ads in Show Me Missouri and Missouri Life winter issues focused on waterfowl hunting. This is what the image looks like in Show Me Missouri. I think I brought you Missouri Life last time. It's the same image, only configured a little bit differently. In mid-November, we placed radio, billboard, and social media ads to highlight the holiday open house event. Our stores really appreciated that advertisement that was given to them, and many reported their biggest open house events ever. And one of the stores told me that Saturday holiday open house was their largest sales day that they've had in the history of their store. So they just wanted to say thank you for that advertisement. It really went well, I think. So, and that means better tax revenue for the community too. So that's how all that works. We wanted to remind the community to continue to shop local for the remainder of the holiday season. Christmas is just around the corner, and one campaign that helps with that is the Christmas cash giveaway that the Chamber and the Hearing Council are teaming together to do. So I just wanted to remind everyone that they have until December 19th to participate in that. How it works is when customers visit many participating stores in Kennet, they will find a QR code at the register, and all you have to do is put your camera on your phone to it and put in your information, and once you visit 20 stores, you're entered in to win $1,000 Kennet cash, and then that's just more money that will stay in our community. So that drawing will happen on December 20th. So there's still plenty of time to get out there and visit. We've got lots of places that you normally go on your daily route. If you get one a day, thank you.
Is there a ribbon cutting tomorrow?
Yes, at 2 o'clock at the new image downtown.
Okay. All right, finance.
Too early in the month, we haven't had our numbers for last month, so I don't have anything tonight.
Okay. Hey, Mike. There's a switch for the fan underneath the calendar. Yeah, it's a secret hiding spot. There you go. Okay, that's much better. All right, fire.
Council members, Mayor, some events that's kind of been going on with us. Today, Kennet Fire Department, we sent a truck with 4 crew members to assist Cape Girardeau. We covered a station, 1 of 4 that they have, so that they could attend the funeral of one of their own. And also Captain Ivan LeGrand, he was a inspector paramedic with the department, and he passed away due to COVID. So we were able to go up there and assist those folks in their time of need. A few things else going on. Of course, we are taking construction bids on Station 2. I've heard from a few different contractors asking some questions about it. So kind of looking forward towards the end of December to get those bids in and see what we've got. Other events happening. Station 1. That project. Station 1, we were looking at a CDBG CV grant, and that is a non-matching grant. So you know what that means? 100%. So we kind of in the beginning stages of that. So the city of Kennet's in a great position right now that from a fire department standpoint, from a standpoint of the city, that we've got two projects that are going to really help the citizens of our city. Fire truck wise, tomorrow we will be going to get engine 3, the new pumper. we're gonna be bringing it home tomorrow. Tower, we're gonna be bringing it home next week. Had some issues with graphics, so it's gonna be another week before we get that. December 20th, we're tentatively gonna schedule a blessing of the trucks, and you will be receiving an invite to that. We look forward to doing that. Other than that, did have issues regarding our salaries. Didn't know if that needs to be done in a closed session, or when it needs to be brought up, whether it's then or now.
General salaries?
Yes.
Has to be open.
Okay. General salaries. We were presented, I think, a couple of meetings ago, with the possibility of giving a $3 an hour raise. And it was mentioned to us that that raise would have to come out of our existing budget. The existing budget that we had was one that, it started last January, and it took us, 5 months to get our budget up to where it was. To include the newer programs that you all as a council wanted our department to pursue. In order to do that $3 an hour raise right now, it would take over a 60% cut in line item budgets. And again, this was doing away with a lot of the programs that our city's become accustomed to, as well as losing 2 new slots that will be opening up here shortly. And again, it was to improve the safety of our citizens, and it was going to include cutting them out as well. Had a discussion, we looked at the numbers, and there was discussions about could we go $2, $1.50, $1. We looked at it, and we found that going $1 would be appropriate as far as being able to keep it under budget. Now, probably beginning in February, March, we will have some folks that will be getting their EMT certification. So we're going to be going, some will be receiving a 50-cent raise there. But we felt like $1 right now would be very well sufficient, yet within our budget in order to do. I presented this to our department, our full-time staff. And again, concern there. There was rumors floating around that we're getting $3 an hour raise. I explained to them their situation. I said, folks, it can happen. You are the lifeline to our citizens, and I want your input. And they were pretty much unanimous in their agreement that they like the direction that their department is going. They don't want to see it change. They like the improvements that have been done in the way it's growing. They were perfectly happy with a minimal raise, if any. So that's where we stand right now, and I present it to you all, that the fire department full-time staff receive $1 an hour raise.
If that keeps you within your budget, that was an agreement with all the departments, if they can work it into their budget without amending the budget, that we could try it and then revisit on the next budget.
And that does include keeping our 2 positions that we'll have coming open when, again, we're going through EMT certification. That's wrapping up this month. It's gonna be mid-February before we're able to get state testing done. So it'll be well into February before we actually go through with hiring additional staff.
What was your committee response?
We didn't have a committee meeting on this one. I'm throwing this out here now.
I don't know if it wasn't brought to the finance committee or something.
It's within the budget range.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah, I make a motion.
The other thing that they did talk about is they would see that they were going to be doing a smaller amount than the other departments, is that come next July, June, July, that they could, if it was within their budget at that time, to do another raise, where the others are waiting until the June, July of
We'll just have to wait and see how our
2023.
numbers are coming in, if we can.
Yeah,
work
that
it
it's,
out.
yeah, they understand all that, but they still wanted the June, July to be a possibility.
Possibility.
Instead of a no possibility from the other departments until 2023, that at least for the
Yeah,
2022,
we
it
can
could be a
revisit that
possibility.
in,
Wonderful.
we're planning the next year's budget.
So we have a motion and a second on the floor.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Gentlemen, thank you.
All right. Human resources.
just a question, how are we sitting on the email addresses, all that.
I have not been able to talk with Brad, so hopefully by next council meeting you'll have that done.
Really need to get that going because I've got that issue with the committee and trying to get an email address for people that want to get signed up
Yeah.
for the hospital committee. So as soon as we get that, please let me know.
Yeah, it's,
And we'll-
Brenda had an issue today or past couple of days with emails, so we'll be with Brad trying to get that all straightened out. Because some people are getting some emails, some people aren't getting emails, so we're trying to get it straightened out now.
All right, that's the big thing for me right now, so
Okay.
that's it.
Then, Humane.
For the month of November, we impounded 64 dogs, returned 13 to owner, euthanized 5, and transferred out 48. Currently, we have 26 dogs on intake. The ones that were euthanized, which is a high number for us, was a couple was from cruelty and neglect, and they just couldn't be saved. We had a couple that were just so aggressive that we did not want to put them back into any community. And then we had one that was a dog bite that was pretty vicious, so it was euthanized. And we had a group of ladies and some young men that came out and brought Thanksgiving dinner to our dogs. And they literally cooked a whole meal, and that was dog friendly, and they served all of our dogs on paper plates. And it was quite unique. Never heard of that, but it was nice. Then the Kennett Cruisers donated a whole pallet of puppy food and $200 toward vet care. And Bloom Bella donated 20 jugs of laundry soap to help out with the laundry, since the bedding and stuff will need to be washed more frequently because they'll be using it outside. And we have the furball tree out at Dr. Mobley that anyone can drop off anything for the dogs for during Christmas, and then we'll pick up from him. And it can be used items such as blankets, towels, newspapers, anything like that. So we've been really busy. Any questions? No. Thank you.
All right, police.
Mayor, council, in your packet, you'll have, 2 quotes on riot gear that we had got out. This was a budget item. One quote came from Haven Gear, the amount of $13,500. The other one's from Cox Plus for $12,441. The one from Haven Gear, the helmet had a little bit better ballistics rating than the other one. And for $1,100 difference in 25 pieces of gear, I would like to go with that quote. This will give everybody riot gear that they can have in their cars. Everybody has, most people have a take-on car, so at least have it with them at all times if we need it. In the line item in the budget, we budgeted for $10,000 to be spent on riot gear. We can cover the other $30,500 out of our equipment reserve in order to get all this right now. I just need approval from the council to go ahead and spend this money.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Very good, thank you.
Very good.
That was a quote from Hayden Gear, Brenda.
Okay, can you give me those tomorrow or something?
Now, now.
Either.
Yeah, Bill.
Okay.
Right. Also, on our cop, the Shop with the Cop program we got going, our fundraising efforts are still going. We've set a shopping date for December the 17th at 9 a.m. Obviously, the more money we're able to raise, we can help more kids. Right now, we're able to help at least the same number we helped last year, which is good. We had a really good fundraising year last year. A little bit behind this year on what we did last year, but still doing good. But I want everybody in the public to understand that we can still donate to the Shop with the Cop. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to help all the kids that we would like to, but we're gonna try to help as many as we can. Other than that, you got to have questions?
How many did we help last year?
I think last year we helped 42 kids, we raised a little over $13,000. This year, we had some money left over from last year, we're able to apply this year, so it helps us gaining that many kids again this year. So we're kind of behind a little bit on the raising, but it's still
That'd be pretty good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, street.
First, I'd like to hand something out from MoDOT. Brenda sent around the draft document that you can send something to the state to request, public comments is what it is. And I wanted to pass that around to everybody, because if you haven't done it, I need you to do it, and they will respond to you and tell you that they got your message, and the whole works if you do it over the internet. I'm using this to start handing out to patients in the clinic. I feel like the more we get, the more comments we have, the better off we are. So I want to pass that to everybody. Anybody in the audience that wants to make a comment to the state on it, you would like that. Encouraging the, particularly 412 to the state line, and the reasons for it is economic development for the different towns across that area, as well as safety. So get a chance to get somebody to send that in, please do it, all right? Otherwise, why don't you go ahead, Keith, and finish up from there.
Mayor, council members, kind of going along with what Bill said, they've got different tiers for different projects. Tier 1's Highway C, Tier 2 has got 412 in it, and Tier 3 I think is 164.
Yeah.
It's gonna be in there, and then they've got a Tier 4 that's unallocated right now, so we're gonna try to, if y'all fill these out and they have comments, tell them that 84 going through town is very bad and in bad need of repair, because I'm gonna start going to these Boot Hill Regional meetings and get with MoDOT, and we're gonna get 84 on their radar, and we're gonna try to push it as hard as we can to get 84, something done with it going through town. The way I understand it, Tier 4 has nothing in it right now, so it's kind of up for grabs.
Yeah.
Is that right? So
Yeah,
we want to try to get that on there, so if you fill that out and you get a spot there where you can put that on there, we need to try to get this on their radar quick and start pushing it, so.
84 to 412.
Yeah, and that will be overlaying it and working on the drains on, First Street.
I know this was scheduled, and it came in high bid, and they kicked it out like 4 or 5 years ago.
I don't know.
And that's why it's in such bad shape.
Yeah, it's bad. Now, I had already talked to, Don Collins, he's on county commission, and told him that I'd like to get something done. Originally, it started at the stoplight there on, the corner by where, Keith Mitchell has his place. That stoplight's real bad there, and kinda was gonna go to Michael Street. But after looking at some more of the street, we're gonna shoot for all the way through town, and if we can get any of it done, that'd be better than nothing, but we're gonna try to get it all done, because going back and looking at it, it's all bad. But, I know First Street was done when I started, so it's been about 30 some odd years since anything was done to it. So it's getting pretty bad, and the stuff I pulled up on Google Maps was from way back, so there's more damage than what I've got off of Google Maps, so we're gonna have to give them a lot of pictures to look at, and Don and them are gonna, they told me to get information together and that they would actually take it to the Boot Hill Regional meeting with the county commission goes, which if it's gonna be in Dexter, I'll probably attend that also and talk to MoDOT, see what we can get done with that.
Yeah, Keith and I went to the unfunded road meeting last Thursday, and it was very informational on how to get on the list, and how you get on one of their tier lists is constantly talk to them, go to the meetings, send them emails, bring it up and everything else. But we learned where, like Duncan County, they're helping out on 412 going south, turning it into 4-lane. Reason why Poplar Bluff got pushed ahead of us of 412 is Poplar Bluff paid for their own environmental study up there. So Duncan County has now thrown in, I believe, $500,000 or so to do the environmental study that MoDOT won't have to do, and that pushed them up the list for getting 412 moved from a tier 3 to a tier 2 and hopefully up to a tier 1. Where they will, get it. So the more people are talking about it, some of the highways that they're sitting there looking at is because people constantly call and complain about the road or talk about it, everything else. So, yeah, it was really informative on that aspect of what they're doing and how to get on the list, how to stay on the list, and how to get moved up.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Squeaky wheel gets the grease, and then
There you
also if your, city facility will, do some of the work for them, that moves that project on up because it's already done. So whenever the money does come available, they're, okay, hey, the environmental study's already done on this, so hey, we can take that next step forward because, the city of Kennett paid for that right there, like for 412 Duncan County paid for that environmental study, and that's how you can help move up the list, and so all that is, good information on going forward.
For the street department, Knuckles Contractors have poured the east side of Anthony Street at Anthony and Second. They did it last Thursday, and they're gonna let it set for 7 days, so this Thursday, they should be back over there to break out the other side and start doing it. They're gonna have a little stormwater work to do there. I think I might have told y'all already, we're gonna replace the pipe that's already there that's getting bad. They're gonna go back a little extra into the concrete they're not gonna break out and hook it up, so that if we have to do anything in the future, we don't have to tear that intersection out. We can just take out that little spot where they went back and hook into it, and we'll already have the new pipe there, so we won't have to do anything in that intersection. After they get finished with that, that'll set for 7 days, and then they'll be finished with their concrete work this year.
Can you talk about the damage?
Do what?
The damage?
Yeah, the day they poured it, they had somebody in a motorized wheelchair ran off in it, and I guess tried for a few minutes to get out of it and tore it up pretty good, and then he got out, walked around back, picked his wheelchair up and set it out of the concrete, got in and took off. Had a couple of bicycles go through it. They came back when they poured it in quarters, and when they poured the second quarter, they took some of the leftover concrete and tried to patch it. They did good job patching. I don't know how long it stayed. The bicycle tracks weren't very deep, so that may not stay very good, but the motorized wheelchair was fairly deep. So, next thing is, I talked to Don Collins, and the park department had a wood chipper down there that they have been using, so we're gonna get the wood chipper. They said that they don't use it, we could borrow it and try it out. We're gonna get it running and see how that'll work, and see if we can't get a little bit more productive on our trimming, not having to run to the dump so many times. We're getting quite a bit of stuff, and when it gets winter time, the limbs don't like to lay down as well as they do during the summertime. So if we can chip them up, and we're gonna build a box on one of our trucks, and hopefully we'll be able to chip on it for a couple of days without having to go dump, and see if we can't get a little bit of this trimming done this winter. Gerald and one other employee went to Missouri One Call conference last week, and they attended some classes and lectures on digging safety and working around power lines and other utilities. You want to tell them something about that, Gerald? It's just basically a Missouri One Call thing where they give you the do's and don'ts about digging. Before you stick anything in the ground, by law, you're supposed to call Missouri One Call. Pretty much they say before you even stick a shovel in the ground, because of all the buried utilities and stuff. It's something that they didn't have it last year, did they? They usually have it every year, but I think last year they didn't have it due to COVID. But we sent a couple of people to that, and I think they'll get a certificate for going to that, which might help out on Myrna a little bit. That's all we've got for street department. Y'all got any questions?
Okay, Storm?
Why don't you start, Victor?
Okay.
Just stay right there, if you, Victor.
Only thing I've got is, last week I met with Hannah from the Department of Natural Resources. We done an inspection at Delta Peanut. We went through the whole facility, done all their paperwork. Everything was in order, and everything looked great out there. They're doing a good job.
Good.
So, that was good. We drove the berm and went through every ditch and pond that they had out there. So, everything was in good shape.
And everything that we're doing
Yes,
was
yes.
was appropriate and
had to explain to her how I do my stormwater inspections on site, and she wanted to make sure that ours coincided with theirs, how everything was done, so
Okay.
everything's going good.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's a big change out there over the last several months.
Go ahead, Keith.
Victor and I also went to a meeting a couple weeks ago that kind of explained how to fill out some of the paperwork on this, and we talked to them and got a little bit more information on how things were going, so they seem to be a little more accommodating, I guess, with this, trying to help you get this filled out instead of since they've changed it around a little bit, they, I guess, working with everybody, trying to make sure they understand it, which has helped us a whole lot. I talked to the guy from Vision Sewer today, and he said that we're on the books to get the pipeline. I think I told y'all that the other day, but he did give me a little bit more definite date. They are planning to try to come the end of December, but he said it'll most likely be early January. They're gonna clean, prep, and measure the pipe so they can get the liner ordered. And he said that their plans are to be here early February to install the liner. And that's gonna be from the parking lot there at Stan Morris's building, at the edge of it where we put the box in, to Van de Venner and Lee, where they did the stormwater work there going under the road. They built a new box there big enough to for them to get in and work when they put the pipes in there, so we'll stop right there. And then we've been cleaning that line on farther. We'll have to see about getting something done with it later. The one that goes on farther is actually one of them that goes under a house, so we're definitely gonna try to get something done with it sooner than later. We've been mowing Buffalo Ditch. We were mowing that when the mower went down. I told y'all that the excavator mower went down. We got it back. He was able to get in it and do a lot of mowing. We've got about 75% of it done right now. He's got another little strip between Russell and I think Crawford Street that he can do outside the ditch, and everything else gonna have to be in the ditch. So we're either gonna have to wait until it freezes solid or dries up a little bit more. He was able to get in it till it rained the other day, so now it's gonna be a little bit more drying up or freezing. If it freezes, we'll be able to get in it. But hopefully we're gonna get it done, then we'll start on Snipe Slough. The side mount mower I told y'all we were getting for the tractor, we got it, and it works very, very good. We've done some mowing with it, and we were able to get several places that we hadn't been able to get in the past due to not being able to get on the property. This will actually reach across there and mow it, so it's working out real good, and between both of them, we should be able to keep the ditches pretty clean. We've had a lot that used to get really tall that we couldn't get to, other than places we're not gonna be able to get to unless the ditch is dry, due to fences and structures. Other than that, that's all we've got for stormwater.
I noticed them cleaning up through Frisco, through that big strip up.
Yes, there was, I don't know really what was going on there. There were a couple of patches there that hadn't been mowed. I told him to go walk through there and see if there was anything in there, and if not, go up there and mow them.
Yeah, they were cleaning up when we could.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna try to keep that down too, hopefully. All right, thank y'all.
I think the industrial's met, so senior citizen.
We haven't had a meeting yet this month, probably look for maybe Thursday. Not, we'll talk about it afterwards, so.
All right, then, I don't think we have any unfinished business, new business, nothing. On the mayor's report, today's December 7th, and it's the start of signing up for our elections coming up in April. There's a seat in each one of the wards. A couple of them have 2 seats because it's, Mr. Michael is appointed, so he's got to run, Gary's got to run for 1 year, but there's a 2-year spot in each one of the wards that'll be up for election. I know Ward 3 already has a runoff. Is that correct? And for the 2-year seat, or not Ward 3, Ward 2. And so it's you can sign up from now until December 28th. All you do is come up here to City Hall, meet with Miss Brenda, and So whenever you're sitting there looking at what you want to do and trying to make a decision for the city, trying to think of, is it morally and ethically correct to what we're wanting to do for the city? Is it legal to do this for the city? And three, is it what's best for the city? So if you can answer yes to those three questions, then that's probably a good project for the city to do. So if you're looking at doing something civic minded and want to get out, come by and talk to Miss Brenda and sign up. We talked earlier a little bit about the progress out at Delta Peanut. We'll let them give any type of timeline if they want to, but everything seems to be running full bore out there. And then we already talked about the unfunded meeting. Again, it's contact and send off an email to them. More emails they get on the different projects around here, that's how they move up. Tier 1 is primary, Tier 2 is secondary, Tier 3, and so the importance is, how many calls and everything else they end up with. Then the chamber brought up, shop local. Our city is 100% sales tax based. So the more local shopping that you can do, the better the city is going to be. So please shop local. It's Christmas season. Keep Christing Christmas and stay around and enjoy it, because we're all going to be having our friends and families over. So enjoy the holiday season. Don't get caught up in the shopping and everything, and enjoy your family. But besides that, that's for Mayor's report. That's all I have for right now, and we'll go for a public comment.
Bill, I'll make copies of that, and I'll hand it out to the seniors and encourage them to participate. I didn't know if y'all knew anything about the fire we had on the 4th. We had, it was early in the morning, just a small fire at the center, and there was a series of events that happened that led up to it. A couple of weeks previously, lightning evidently had struck that phase 1 line and weakened it. And then when cold weather set in, I flipped all of those big huge units on to heat it up, and it overloaded the line, causing the fire because it broke it and it went down. So anyway, with the help from Stan, Morris Construction, a neighbor who ran over to jump on the ladder and put it out, some on that. The fire department, who was there just really quickly, the electrician, Paul Spain, and Victor, and CLGW, as well as the insurance adjuster. The center was, this city was a group effort, and they had us up and running again by 7 o'clock. And so we did not miss a beat. We did not lose, a roll of hamburger. I mean, it was really good. We didn't lose, and so I wanted to, I just want to thank everybody for all the work that they did and so quickly while I was falling apart. Just so worried, And they did a great job, and we really appreciate it. The damage was minimum. The cost to repair everything and put the new wiring in and do all of that was approximately $7,700. And the insurance agent and adjuster thought that was very reasonable, and they approved it right away. And our deductible was $1,000 and everything, so everything else was covered by the insurance. And it just showed us that when help is needed, Kennett's Best come together to assist. And for that, I am very grateful, and so are the seniors at the center. Although the holidays have made it difficult for us to meet with the committee, there is progress at the center. The outside freezer was finally delivered and put together, but we're waiting right now on the electric to be hooked up and connected, and for the fence that we're gonna need to be put around it. And so we called and we're trying to get that done. I've also ordered the 4 remaining cameras that we need in order to put around that so we can see that, freezer. And those are scheduled to be put in around the 10th. And I'd also like to thank, the Kennett Police Department, because they're helping keep an eye on it until we can get all of that done, just to make sure. I told Kenny, I'm always afraid somebody's gonna tell everybody, look in the freezer first thing in the morning to make sure somebody hadn't locked themselves in it, or somebody else has locked them in it. You know, I just worry about that, so. Anyway, dishwasher has also been ordered. No word on it yet. It's probably sitting on a dock somewhere. So the old one's working fine right now. No wood to knock on, but, the van's been in the shop again. And, it's really old, and so, it's a process of elimination. We've got to put it back in the shop because it's not completely, hadn't solved the problem completely. So it's had so many things wrong with it. In October, we raised approximately $7,500 with our very first fall fundraiser to supplement our food costs. So that was very successful. And so far this year, since July, we have served over 34,000 meals to our seniors throughout Kennett and the surrounding areas. And we hope to continue to serve them even more in the coming year. With the holidays, everyone's busy, it's hard to get together, but in January I hope to meet with the senior committee, if not before. And I'll have a more detailed expense report and all of that stuff to give to them and to present, so. Anyway, again, on behalf of the Kennett Oaks, I want to thank the council, the senior committee, and the city of Kennett for their help throughout 2021, and I do hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas and a safe and happy New Year.
Thank you, you too.
Well, 3, 2, 1. Well, no closed session asked for tonight, so motion to adjourn. All right. All in favor? All right, let's go home.